That was weird. Okay? Now, rule number one. If you want to be successful in selling is, you gotta ask. You gotta ask. If you want something, you gotta ask. Now listen carefully. I told my emerald friends this. I've been married 26 years. Give it up. 4 different women, out of the years, doesn't matter. Emeralds are going, I can't believe this offer. Yeah, they did. One, I'm just kidding. Some women are like, it's not funny, right? One wife, 26 years, right? Been together 28 years, and I told people she's from Minnesota. Tough German Norwegian, Puerto Rican. You gotta be in our house to understand, right? And so when I first started dating my wife, I remember we drove from Minnesota to Chicago. And I'm driving. My wife looks over at me, girlfriend at the time, and she said, "Are you hungry?" She asked me if I was hungry. I look over and I go, "No, not really." And I keep driving. I know, ladies. I didn't know back then. I didn't know. Young and dumb. I didn't know. And all of a sudden, within 5 seconds, I feel heat right here. And I look over, and man, she's got that screw face on, like, you know that look, guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? The one that says, time out, 2 hours, coincided, I'm not talking to you, right? That thing. And so finally we pulled over to a rest area, and I said, "Sweetie, what's wrong?" She goes, "Nothing." So typical. She goes, "Nothing." I said, "No, what did I do wrong? What did I do?" We start going to the begging mode. This is begging right here, guys. Hands up, that's begging. I said, "Well, what did I do wrong?" She goes, "I asked you if you were hungry." I said, "Look at me, dumb." I go, "Yeah, I told you I wasn't." And ladies, what did she say? Look at you, all in unison. It was like, I was, and you didn't ask me, right? To which I responded, "Why did you ask?" What did she say? "You should have known." No, I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean you should have known? Now, ladies, pay attention. Pay attention. Just wait a second. Pay attention. Ladies. That was deep. I'm going into deep water right now. Ladies, pay attention. I'm about to educate you on something. Man logic. Now, same scenario. Guy version. Driving. Car, right there. Even with his cool self. You ever hear Carl talk? Yeah, well, isn't Carl the coolest talker? Give him a hand. Carl. You know Carl. Carl's in the car. I'm driving. Carl says in his cool, melodic voice, "Victor, are you hungry?" And I said, "No, not really." What does Carl say? What does the guy say? See, guys did it. I am pulled over. You gotta ask. We cannot read your minds, women. But we love you. So rule number 1 is you gotta ask. Rule number 2, you gotta know how to ask. Now, I'm living in Miami. Back in the day, don't judge me, right? And I buy myself a new Volvo. I'm sorry if you judge me. Yeah, I know it's not a Lexus. But that's before I knew Plexus, right? So I bought this new Volvo, right? I pull up to the gas station, right? Swipe the credit card machine to get the thing going. It's not working. So I have to walk inside to the kiosk, right? So I walk inside the kiosk. There's 2 people in line. I'm standing number 3. I'm in a rush. It's Miami. Everybody's in a rush, right? So I'm standing there waiting. All of a sudden I hear a small voice. Hey mister. I'm like, I look over to the corner of the little store. There's a little boy about 12 years old, just sitting on a plastic towel. And I'm like, what's he doing there? And he's like, hey mister. And I'm like, I'm not in a mood to talk. I'm in a rush. And I said, yes, me? He goes, yes, you. He says, how you doing? I said, I'm good. I don't want to talk to this young man. I'm in a rush. And he says, is that your car? And he points out the door. I said, yeah. He says, why did you choose white? I said, I don't know. He says, how many miles? And it's like the Inquisition. He asks and asks, but he will not stop. And finally, he says this to me. He goes, one day, I hope to have a car just like that. Oh, man. At that moment, I saw my chance to get out of this conversation. I'm going to shut this baby down right here. I looked at him dead in the eye. I said, son, work hard, and one day you will. Thinking that would close that conversation. Didn't miss a beat. I said that. The young man said, sitting on the tub, stands up and says, sir, that's exactly why I'm here. Lifts up the plastic tub to reveal these boxes of chocolates. He says, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm selling these boxes of chocolates. I want to know if you want to buy one. What do you think I said? I said, no. I know you got it. That's so evil, Victor. Support the youth, right? So I kind of said, I said, no, thank you. And without missing a beat, the young man said, well, sir, if you're not going to buy a box, would you at least buy one bar? I said, well, I'll take two. I got 2 kids, I'll take 2 bars, right? I got 2 bars. But it wasn't until I got home, pulled in the driveway, I realized I got suckered by this 12-year-old. This kid understood at that age, at that tender age, the door-in-the-face strategy. See, in life, never ask for what you want, ask for more than what you want so you'll get what you want. I'll repeat that. Never ask for what you want, ask for more than what you want so you'll get what you want. Right? Get the idea? When we're selling to customers, don't start out with your cheapest product. Sell them the big one. And if they say no, sell them the 2 bars of chocolates. You get the idea? But now, look at the psychology of this. It's very fascinating. Let me slow this down, almost like a Matrix movie. Right? So he says, do I want to buy the box of chocolates? I say, no. And at that very moment, how do I feel? Bad, right? Little guilt, little moment in time, feel bad. That's when a little cobra strikes. He pulls in the second offer. Now, fellas, pay attention, because this is what our wives do to us. Oh yeah, I'm about to give you the red pill. You're gonna wake up. Because here's how they do it, fellas. Let's huddle. This is a man huddle. Over here. Because my wife comes up to me and she says, one day we're going on vacation. And as you know, when your wife says you're going on vacation, that's what a smart man would do, just go on vacation. So I said, well, where are we going? She said, let me think about it, I'll get back to you. She does this, it's almost like she drops the note, right? She conditions me. A week later, she comes back. Remember that vacation I was telling you about what we're gonna do? I go, no. She goes, shut up, you do, right? So she goes, I found the ideal vacation for us 4. I said, what, how much? She said, well, it's a trip. And we're going to go to the Mediterranean Sea. We're going to fly to Barcelona, and from there we're going to take ships. We're going to go to Greece, we're going to go to Rome, and all these wonderful things. Now, fellas only, what's your first question, fellas? Yeah! I said, how much? She said, $16,000. I said, $16,000? I said, are you kidding me? I'm not doing it. I don't pay $16,000. She says, fine, let's do the one in the Caribbean. It's only $1,500 per. I said, yeah, let's do that one. You gotta know how to ask. Now, this third part, the last part, is the key ingredient. Without this, nothing else works. Listen to what I'm about to say. That if you use this third element, I will guarantee that you will hit your sales number, that you will sell and be successful. Yes, I said guarantee. Now, I don't usually share the secret ingredient within the secret ingredient with just anybody. But I'm gonna share it with you for one reason, and one reason only. Why? Thank you. All right. Whoever said it like that, I love you. All right, listen carefully. Fellas, let me talk to the fellas again. Fellas, you ever have one of those nights? Remember back in the day when you were young, you were single, you were going out, maybe to a dance, a party, or whatever it is? Did you ever have one of those nights where every girl you asked to dance said no? Clap, guys. Okay, those who clap, those are honest men. The rest are in denial, right? So one night I go out, right? It's in college, I go out, right? And so we go to this dance, right? And every girl I asked to dance said no. Just no. Now, let me just stop here for a second because I got to share something with you. We used to live in Miami, but now we live in Georgia. Anybody from Georgia? Right? Now, you notice something, right? When you're in Miami, you talk fast, right? But when you get to Georgia, things begin to slow down quite a bit, right? So different speed in Georgia, right? And I remember the first time I got to Georgia, I'm trying to sell this service, and I'm talking to a guy named Larry Aston. Larry Aston is a good old boy. Backwood good old boy. I mean, whatever image you have in him, that's it. Good old boy, right? And I'm talking to Larry, and I'm talking still Miami style, right? And Larry is a good southern guy, and he says, whoa. Slow down, Victor, slow down. Then he says this to me, because in Georgia, they got these little sayings. I kind of like them, right? If you're depressed, you're in low cotton. Never heard that one. I thought that was new, right? If you're mad, somebody licked the red off your candy cane. So I'm talking to Larry, and I'm talking. I said, whoa, slow down. He said, Victor, man, listen to you. I feel like a monkey making love to a skunk. Grinding in my head. It was just like, well, and I said, well, what does that mean, Larry? What does that mean? Without missing a beat, he says, man, I don't know if I had all I want, but I know I had all I can take. Love Georgians. Love Georgians, right? So, that image is so wrong. Bad, right? So sure enough, I'm at this place, and every girl I ask to dance is saying no. Now, again, I'm in low cotton right now. I feel like a monkey making love with a skunk. I've had enough of this, right? And I'm about to leave. But at that moment, I heard in my head the words of my mentor. See, many years ago, I had a mentor. His name was Jose Santana. Now, Jose Santana was Spanish. I'm talking Spain Spanish, Canary Islands Spanish. And he talked like Ricardo Montalban. He would say my name and go, Victor. And I was like, dude, that is sexy. Can you do that again? I'm a man, but can you just do that again? Victor. He would do that, right? And so one day, now Jose was one of those salespeople that every year he just knocked it out of the park. Just bam, bam, bam. Probably like Celeste or something. Celeste. Me and her are best friends now. She doesn't know it yet, but we are. Congratulations, by the way. Now, he was that salesperson, right? Just knocking it out of the park. So one day I walked in his office because I'm frustrated. I can't sell. And I said, Jose, what is the secret to selling? What is the secret to your success? Every year you knock it out of the park. He says this to me in that Ricardo Montalban voice. He goes, very simple. I go, what's very simple? He goes, I said, what's your secret to success? He says, just keep asking until someone says yes. I said, what? I said, are you telling me that your success is predicated on just keep asking until someone says yes? What did he say? Yes. So, back to the club. I'm about to hit the door. I'm about to leave. And what do I hear in my head? Just keep asking until someone says yes. So at that moment, I make a decision. I'm going to go back in there, and I'm going to keep asking till one of them says yes. So I pick out the first one. You got to understand, it doesn't matter. I was looking for a win. We can judge for the quality of the win later. Did he just say that to a group of women in this audience? Yes, he did. I was desperate, right? So I go up to the first one and said, would you like to dance? She said, no. I said, next. No, wait a minute, wait. Don't get ahead of me. I didn't say it out loud. That would be just rude, right? You're like, that is so wrong. I'm leaving. Right? No, I didn't say it out loud. I just mentally said, next. Second one. Fourth one. Seventh one. No, 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 no. Just keep asking if the Lord says yes. 11, 12. Finally, number 14 said yes. Get on the floor. DJ says, we're going to take a 5-minute break. I'm like, no! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So let's go through the rules real quick, but I want to show you some data now to support what I'm saying. One is that you got to ask. Two, you got to know how to ask. But the most important ingredient is you got to know what? To keep asking. Here's some studies that was done. I love this study because it highlights how persistence really is the key to winning in sales. Got to be optimistic, but persistence is the key. Did you know that 2% of sales are made on the first call? Did you know 3% are made on the second, 5% on the third, 10% on the fourth, and 80% of all sales are made on the fifth or subsequent call? See, now that begs the question. How many people actually make that fifth call? Here's the data. 80% of all new sales are made on the fifth attempt or more, right? You got that? Here are the numbers. Did you know that 48% quit after one time? Did you also know that 25% quit after the second attempt? Now, is that good news or bad news? It's fantastic news. That means most people are dropping out after the second call. By the third, 12% drop out, 5% quit, and sometimes those who really want to sell just keep asking until someone says yes. Are you with me on this one? So the rule is what? Repeat them after me. One is, you gotta, then you gotta keep asking until someone says yes. That's my favorite one. Can we just go there? That's the favorite one. Now, I want to close this out because I know you got some other things to do and you want to partake. Right? Leanne Rhymes and all those wonderful things later on today. Leanne Rhymes, yes? Alright, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to close out, and the way I close out is I want everybody to take the pledge. Everybody stand up, please. Please stand up. It's a quick, what I call my Logic of Success pledge. I want you to remember this in your darkest moments. Alright, listen carefully. Do what I do, repeat what I say. Fingers up in the air, just like this. Listen carefully. Say the following. I pledge allegiance to my thing. Some of you look really confused. My bad. Put your finger down for a second. It's my fault. I always do this. Apparently, I didn't explain the difference between a thing and a thing. See, in life, if you do a thing, it's something you don't really like doing. You do it just because you got to get by. You do it for every other reason but the right reason, right? And if you always do a thing in life, you'll never be successful because you'll never achieve your potential. So in life, we don't want to do a thing. We want to do a what? Man, because when you do your thing, beautiful things begin to happen, right? Yeah. You meet great people, the law of attraction kicks in, and everybody gets an automatic MBA, which stands for what? Mega Bank Account. Did you get that? All right. Fingers back up in the air. Let's do this right. I pledge allegiance to my thing. Man, look at your thing. Look what you care. To my thing. I will rise above. Doing what I love. I will make that dough. Look how happy you got. Yeah, we like that part, baby. One more time. I will make that dough. Doing what I know. And those who laugh. Now I like to mean it. And those who laugh. Can kiss my. No. Can kiss my assets. Can kiss my assets. Plexus, you've been great.